Okay. So when you're using cream makeup, it's very hydrating. When we're used to using liquids and powders, those are actually extremely drying for your face. Your like skin just sort of soaks it up throughout the day. So a lot of times, if you have oily skin, you might not want to moisturize like right beforehand. You don't want to do that because the cream will do that for you. Um, so you may have a little bit longer of an adjustment period than say somebody who has very dry skin. And somebody that has like extremely dry skin, like they're gonna immediately, like the cream makeup is gonna probably feel really good. And so I would say if you are on the more oily side of things, you're probably going to be closer to that 4 week, a little bit longer mark where your skin is going to sort of balance out the hydration. But if you're on the drier side, you may not even notice much of an adjustment period, because your skin really might love that hydration, which I would imagine that it would. I do have somebody who has, she's not on right now, but I have somebody who has incredibly dry skin. It's even like to the point where it's like flaky, and she has to like moisturize right before she puts this on. And it really helps a lot. So I just kind of wanted to make sure you knew that.
I have really
You
dry
do?
skin too.
Really? And I know in like the winter time too.
Well, and I don't want to jump on this, interrupt you or whatever, but like
No, of
I was
course.
using like a color corrected tinted moisturizer underneath everything in the beginning because I needed that moisture.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So that's the thing, you definitely can. And as far as like having oily skin, like to go on the opposite side of things, and thank you for sharing that. I want you to share if you have, some troubleshooting tips or something that works for you, because, there may be things that work for, somebody and then something different might work for somebody else. But I would say as far as skin prep goes, like if you have oily skin, even, moderate to dry, moderate the normal to dry, I would at least put all of your serums or your moisturizer, whatever, on. Give it 20 minutes to dry and completely soak in before you start your makeup. So, like, put that on first, brush your teeth, go have your coffee, whatever, and then like put your makeup on. Or just don't put anything on. If you have like normal to oily, combination skin, don't put anything on. Just try and see what works for you. So, the other thing is too, I don't know if everybody has the perfector sponge. If you don't have this, at some point get it, because all of us have mature skin now. Hey Jackie. So I was just saying, like, if you have the perfector sponge, this is very, very necessary if you have mature skin. Apparently we stop producing collagen at 25. So we're all out of that. We're past that.
She's calling us old.
You need this. And I will say, and I think you may have heard me say before, I did not buy this at first because I said, I have a beauty blender from Target I'm going to use, but this little thing is like a beauty blender on steroids. It is. That's what I always say, because when you wet it, it doubles in size and it's fluffy. And it really gets in the corners of your eyes, and it pushes the cream makeup into the fine lines and wrinkles, especially for your under eyes. This is necessary. What it also does is it blends in those harsh lines when you're contouring. It also picks up any of the excess product, which is the next thing I'm going to get into. So when you're using a cream makeup, it's a new for all of us because we're used to using, like I said, liquids and powders, right? So cream is extremely hydrating, and at first it's going to sort of feel, it may almost have like a tacky finish to it. So, and again, 2 to 4 week adjustment period, your skin is going to love this stuff. So if that's the case, we're going to talk about troubleshooting. And we're going to talk about the setting powder. I don't know. Oh, it's in here, the Vanilla Dust setting powder. And if you don't have this, you can use whatever translucent powder you have at home. It's just this like white powder. So we can get into that once we start putting on our makeup. But before we do that, does anybody have like any questions they want to ask before we get started, or like anything that like they've experienced or learned since they like got their makeup and started putting it on? Because if not, like we can just get into it.
I just want to say one thing, because I have been using Seint for a couple 6 months or longer. I've always had a problem with my contour being like hard. So
Yes.
I've heated it up a bunch.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Contours for some reason seem to be cold. And I remember you telling me that right in the beginning. And you do sort of have to rub your finger on it just to warm it up. For some reason, the other colors, like the highlights, don't seem to be hard, but the contours can get pretty hard. Yeah, like cold almost.
Yeah.
So
what I've noticed is our master bedroom is the coldest room in the house, I guess, the way it sits over our basement. And so my palette will be kind of cold in the winter months, especially when it's been like the last week we've had with snow. So I'll just take it and literally just go like 5-10 seconds with a hairdryer over the whole palette, contour, and it just really warms it up a little bit and it makes it go on so smooth.
That's a great idea. I need to try that.
Because our room gets cold. Like it's arguably probably 10 degrees colder than the rest of the house, which is so odd, but 8 to 10 degrees. So
gosh, that's a big gap.
Yeah. I mean, I like it because I like the cold, but not for my makeup.
I have a question. Do you heat up your palette with it open? Like where it's hitting?
Yeah, I have it right here. I literally will open it and literally just go right across for about 5 or so, maybe 8 seconds, just back and forth, just like this with the hairdryer. And I get not super close, but I get it in there and I heat the whole thing up.
What a good idea.
Yeah, my contour was really, really hard. So I would pop it out and put it like on top of, those scent warmers that you have, like the melt wax things. I have one that's like, there's a corner that's like heated. So I just like set it right there.
Oh my gosh, what a good idea. Huh. That is awesome. The other thing is too, is I know Justine hasn't gotten her makeup yet. So just to sort of recap, I forget what palette you got, Justine, how many tins you got, or like tin palette, how many you got, but I just wanted to show you. This is what they look like. So these are magnetic tins, and what you want to probably do, and I'll just run through this really quick, is save one of the tops. They come in a cute little tin like this, where you take the top off. Save one of these if you guys like haven't, or you end up getting more makeup. Save one of them and use it to pop out your tins, because sometimes trying to squeeze your fingers in there to get them out, you end up like digging your finger in makeup. So they just pop out like that. And that's how they also pop in. And so the way you probably want to set up your palette is everybody has 2 highlights. One's for your main foundation, one's for your, brightener, concealer type deal, right in your T-zone. I just put those right next to each other. I got my main right here, and this is the brightening one. They pop in. This is my contour color, my bronzer, and my vanilla dust setting powder, and I have a lip and cheek. You can set it up however you want, but those are like the staples for me. I've got some eye stuff, an illuminator, brow wax on the second layer. I'm at the point now where I have 3 different palettes. This is just for eyeshadows. I need like a ginormous one, even though like that defeats the whole purpose of like it being,
Is that the Pro one right there?
This is the artist palette. This has some of my lip and cheeks in there. Yeah, I know it's getting crazy, but I did just
get still easier to carry than a whole bunch of other crap.
Yeah, but I did just get this. This is the makeup bag, and it has a place for your brushes, and then you could fit all your palettes in here. It's really cute. I had to grab this, but I don't use it when I'm sitting here. I'll use it if I have to do my makeup like downstairs in the kitchen. But anyway, let's get to it. I know it's late. I know I want everybody to have the rest of their night. So let me get my palette back out. Okay. So the first thing that I typically will say to do is if you're brand new, you're going to want to use the Cheetah HAC method where you're not using a brush to apply your makeup, you're using your fingers. You obviously want to make sure your hands are clean and you want to make sure your face is clean. A lot of people are concerned about bacteria being transferred, but same thing can happen with a brush. If you don't clean your brushes, you got bacteria on a brush. There's no difference whether you're using your fingers or a dirty brush. So make sure your fingers are clean. And then what you're going to want to do is I always start with the contour because like we were saying, contour needs time to warm up. So you can get some, out of the tin and put on your face, but it also needs time to warm up on your face. So I like to start with that. So what I would do first is I'm using the color Astoria. This is my contour. So I typically will use my middle fingers. And what you're going to do is you're going to rub your finger in the contour. Is everybody ready to start, or am I going too fast?
You're good.
Good. All right, dab it in, rub it in, warm it up, whatever you have to do. And I should probably hang on. Okay. I'm trying to look in the Zoom little like square that I have, but I don't know if I can. All right. So you're going to want to start by placing it along your hairline. And then you can do it on your cheekbone, or like some people do it just below your cheekbone. I tend to like to keep everything like high and tight. So I will do like right on my cheekbone. Preference, whatever you like. And then you can do it right here on your jawline. And then we can do it on our nose. So let's start with our forehead. We're going to do all the way around. I usually have to get more product. Okay. And then where you see the top of your ear, you're almost going to like draw a line. Okay. So use the top of your ear like a guide. Feel that cheekbone, but you don't want to come down past the pupil. I tend to stop a little short because you don't want to come down too far. But if you come down too far, you can fix it. It's very, very easy to fix. So again, the top of the ear, hit that jawbone, or hit that cheekbone. What I'm saying, collarbone, jawbone.
Hit the collarbone too. Chisel that.
Yeah, you can actually put it down here. I know a lot of people that contour their chest. That'll be next. Okay, and then we can hit the jaw line. You don't want to put it on top of your jaw, just right on it. And don't forget to blend this out. I always forget. All right, so next thing you want to do is I like to contour my nose. You're just basically going to put two little thin lines down the center of your nose. All right. This always trips me up because I don't never know which finger to use to get like the thinnest. I'm going to try my pinkies. Get the tips of your pinkies, and then you want the lines here to be as close together as you can. And the detail brush is my favorite brush to use for contouring. That's like our contour brush. And that's this one. If you don't have it, it's so good because there's this more of like a rigid edge here. You can almost like just boop, right on the bridge of your nose. Okay, that's it for contour. So you're done. You can always add more. That's the thing. Less is more with this because it's so heavily pigmented. You can always go back and add more. Now, what I will say, the next thing to do is your foundation color. So mine is amber. It's this very first one here. And I am literally running out. I'm going to try to get as much out of this as I can. Okay. Your main highlight. Get that right on your fingers, and you're just going to place this everywhere where your contour is not. I typically tend to leave my T-zone open. So let's start here, right in between here. Okay. We can do our chin. And there's no like certain amount of dots you have to place. It's just slap it on. That's pretty much all it is. There's no specific way. It's just get it on there. Okay, I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna basically do almost all my forehead except for the very center. I'm gonna do right under my nose. Okay.
Can I ask questions while you're going?
Of course.
I'm asking questions because I probably don't know the answer to this. So
Yeah.
like when you're doing the contour on your nose, what do you put on the sides of your nose?
Just your regular foundation, like your brightening highlight will come down and your regular foundation color.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good question. I didn't know that until like not too long ago. Okay, so once you have your, your main foundation, chin in between your contour, I tend to leave it open here for my brightening highlight, the T-zone, middle of your forehead, down your nose, under your eye. We're not going to do the full under eye. We're just going to do the corners of our eyes. So let's start there. Take your second highlight shade. That's my second one here, the brightening one. Get some product on your fingers. You can wipe your fingers if you need to. Okay, so now I'm going to do the middle of my forehead, just wherever. And then really thinly, you want to get it down the center of your nose. And then sometimes I do it right under my nose and then right under my mouth. Now once you get that part down, we're going to hit the eyes with that same color. All right, I'm just going to like stamp it right in the inner corners and then the outer corners. Okay. What the heck is going on here? Okay. I do have some space here where I did not put any color. I'm gonna leave that for now. I may end up adding some more of the brightening highlight here, in between the contour and the brightening highlight, but that's also a beautiful place to put lip and cheek. So let's do that. There's something called like Neapolitan ice cream, where it's like chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. So if you need to remember that, your chocolate is your contour, your strawberry would be like your lip and cheek, and then your vanilla would be the brightening highlight. So let's actually stick with that. So we have our brightening highlight on, we have a regular main highlight on, we have our contour on. Let's do lip and cheek, and we'll save bronzer for after we blend. So lip and cheek, I'm gonna do, this is my go-to, this is nude. So what you can do is place it right above your contour. Right here, just like we said with that Neapolitan ice cream. Now, if you want more full cheeks, you can put them on the apples. I'm at the point now where I want it to be like more of a slimming effect. But so like when I say apples, smiling, like put them right here on the apples of your cheeks if you want a more full cheek. I don't right now, but maybe in like 30 years. I don't know when I want like a fuller face. But anyway, so now we're at the point where we can blend. I typically won't do my lips until I'm done blending. But this is kind of where I want to hang out for now and then blend. So what brushes do you guys have? What are you using to blend? You have the 3D brush, Heather. What do you have, Michelle? Are you not doing your makeup right now? You have you have the blush bronzer brush. Okay. I'm going to use the blush bronzer brush for now, and I'm using the smaller end, and I won't use the big end until I do the bronzer. All right, so when you're blending your makeup, you want to make sure that you're not pulling too much. You're going to want to sort of press and swirl. We're really trying to like press this into our skin. This is the time this is the part that takes the most time, which is fine. It's going to come out looking really, really great. So you're always going to want to do the lighter colors first, and then you'll make your way to the darker contour colors. All right, so I always start here in between my contour. All right. And I'm just pressing, and then I'll blot a little bit. The other thing I will show you once we're done blending this out is putting the like brightening highlight like on your eyelids too. It's a really good like primer for your eyeshadow. It just sort of like neutralizes the color of your eyelids, because you know how they can be like purpley and like veiny. Now, sometimes what I'll do too, since this is a little bit of a wider brush, I'll go in with my perfector sponge like I was telling you, and I'll press in my under eye. It really gets in that corner well, and it presses that cream into the fine lines and wrinkles. It's really, really great. Okay, let me see where I'm at. I'm coming up here. And don't worry if you're heavy-handed at first, that is totally normal. I put way too much product on the very first time I applied my makeup, and I was spooked. I was like, yikes, this stuff is too thick. And it turns out I just used way too much. Okay, let me get under my eye. And you know, the more you do it, the more you'll see this is gonna take you no time at all. I'm going a little bit slower tonight because I want to make sure that I don't go too fast. Okay, so it looks like we're getting there, right? You could even pinch the end of the brush if you want and rub it on your eyelids. I tend to like to stipple my nose where the contour is. I end up a lot of times like wiping it off whenever I blend it. So I'll typically have to go back in maybe after the fact and add a little bit more contour on my nose. So once you're done blending the foundation part, you're going to go up to your contour. You shouldn't have to like clean your brush or anything because you're going from lightest to darkest. So if you were to start darkest to lightest, you definitely have to clean off your brush. And if you feel like it's, oh my gosh, like it's blending out, I'm blending it too much, it's going away, don't worry. When we use our bronzer afterwards, it'll really enhance that shadowy look. And when you get here, you're going to want to make sure you're stippling, which means basically just dabbing. If it's still too dark, you can give it a little swipe until you're sort of like, you know, satisfied with the color. And you're always going to want to blend up. You don't want to pull the contour down. You want to blend up. And again, if you end up pulling it down and it's like sitting too low, there's this like Nike checkmark hack that I can show you how to do. But yeah, you just want to blend up. Okay, do the other side. How are we doing? There are ways to afterwards, if you want to really sharpen your contour, you can add a little brightening highlight right underneath, and that'll make it like really cut. And then when you get to the contour on the bottom on your jawline, you're going to want to, you can bring it down. blend and you can bring it down. This is the only time you really should ever bring your contour down. Isn't it crazy? We're gonna put makeup on just to like take it off.
I'm just gonna be good and take it off tonight.
I know. I for years, I live by these makeup, like cleansing facial wipes. Oh, they're like my savior.
I bought little makeup erasers that are like the cloth ones, but
Oh yeah.
they're like the 10-pack, so I can use it and then toss it in my laundry hamper, and then I can just do laundry, and then as opposed to having a huge one that, you know, is just disgusting for a week
I know.
or whatever.
That's a great idea. Okay. Where are we at? How are we doing? My little beauty.
Just add more makeup because I don't have anything better to do.
It's fun. It's so fun. Did anybody come with a drink? I did not. I forgot.
I did. I drank it and you guys had none.
I totally.
It was only half a glass though. I need more.
Okay. How are we doing? Jackie, are you putting makeup on too?
No, I had a full face on and I just had the opportunity to wash my face right before the call. And then I was like,
you gotta take it while it's hot.
yeah, I'm in the
A lot
middle
of times I'm like,
of
no.
bed, so I figured I'll never.
Yes, please. Thank you. That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
My husband refilled
Favorite
me.
lip and cheek peak.
Nice, that is sweet. I missed it. Where did you guys put your bronzer? I was putting it
You didn't
here.
do it yet.
Oh, okay.
Do it
Perfect.
yet. I usually like to blend it all first and then kind of see where I'm at contour wise, and then I like to add it. So let's see. Let's see where we're at here. Also didn't do lips yet. Are you guys a fan of like bigger lips?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I say that as long as it still looks kind of natural on me. I don't know.
Yeah. So I was gonna say we could do lip contouring too.
I think lip contouring is scary at first. I like to start with bottom and not do the top because then I don't look like I have a mustache.
Yeah.
But
I know.
just keeping it real.
Definitely get a little mustache. Like, I know a lot of people who take when they're doing their contour, they'll take their brush and just go like under here. I haven't done that yet, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. You're just creating a little shade here.
Let's try it.
Yeah, we could try it. I always do like up and over. You really got to like dab it in and blend it in. Okay, so I'm assuming at this point you're like feeling your face and you're like, yeah, it's kind of sticky. It's a little sticky, but that's where this comes in. If you don't have this, if you don't, you can take a paper towel and you can just blot, because any of the excess products should pull, but the other products should be like basically stamped into your skin. You know, it should be in there. So I mean, you'll notice I don't have a tissue right now, but like if I were to take a tissue, only probably a little bit would come up. But let's go ahead and do the bronzer first, and then we can get into like adding some powder in areas that might be a little more oil prone throughout the day, or maybe areas that you're going to touch, like my chin I usually touch. So if you have your bronzer, you're going to take whatever brush you want. I obviously recommend the blush bronzer brush. The big fat end of this brush is you know, the best for distributing this product. And this is the only tin of makeup in regards to like your face that does not have coverage. The Bella bronzer does not have coverage. The contour does, the highlights do, and the whole nine. So I'm gonna take my Bella bronzer and I'm just gonna Just get some product on there. Don't be scared. And this is the time when you're going to swirl, and you're going to want to keep it at the high points of your face. So I'll typically go across my forehead. You really want to hit the temples and like really at the top of your cheekbones. You can swipe it across your nose, and you can bring it down on your neck, but
Yeah.
you want to really keep it.
White neck over here.
Yeah. And yeah, pull it down, and sort of like if you need to sort of match your face with your neck, this is really great for doing that. And you want to swirl. So dab and swirl. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. I always start at the top of my cheekbones and work my way up. And remember, less is more. If you need to add more, you always can. You're just basically trying to like hit it where the sun would normally hit you. So like your forehead, this whole area. And if you're not into bronzer, you don't even have to put it on, you know? I mean, it's really just preference. I really think it can like accentuate your contour if you put it on. Because sometimes your contour, you might think like, oh, it's not that dark. And then you put a little bronzer on top of it, and it really does sort of shape out where you put the contour. I don't know why I'm blowing on it. It's cream. It's not going to go anywhere. All right, I'm gonna go across my nose. Some people like put their finger in it and they'll put it on their lips. Some people use it as eyeshadow. Hello, Mackie boy. Hi, handsome. He's like, who is that? I don't remember you. Because it's been so long.
Say hi, Miss Veronica.
Mom.
Say hi.
Hi, buddy.
Just want to point out that I looked horrible before we started, but now I look phenomenal.
You do. Your skin is glowing.
She's feeling herself.
That's right. So this would be the point where, like, if I need to add more contour to my nose, which I do feel like I do, I will add some more. And then sometimes I take this perfector sponge and I'll just dab it. I just, you know, still working on this nose. Okay. Oh, keto. And what you can do if you really want to make your nose contour pop, put a little bit of, you know, illuminator, which is in the normal world what we call highlighter, but we can't say that now because that's our foundation and our concealer colors are called highlighters. Your illuminator, you can put it on the very tippy part of your
What
nose.
color is that?
What's that?
What color?
This is a perfume. This is the perfume illuminator. It's number 3, which I love. It smells so good. I put this on my wrists too. I'll put this like, you know, on the underneath my jawline or back of my neck. You know, obviously I'll put it here when I do my illuminator here. Do you guys want to do that? Do you usually put illuminator on?
I do. But I haven't tried the perfume one since I couldn't smell it. I can now.
That's right. I still can't believe that. So if you're gonna put illuminator on, just the shimmery, I would just put it right, like, you know, on top of your lip and cheek. Put it down your nose if you want. Wherever your heart desires, pretty much. You can't go wrong. Okay.
Hang on, I kind of want to share a little something with Michelle. This is not makeup related.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to scare you, but about a year ago, we had the COVID, and I did lose my taste and smell for like 12 days, and it came back. And now 2 times that I've even had like the sniffles, in the last like few months. I have lost my taste and smell for like 48 hours to 72 hours. Every time I like go get a COVID test, because I'm like, oh my gosh, do I have COVID? No, they just told me that now anytime that I get sick when it's congestion, there is a strong chance that I will lose my taste and smell. So I just wanted to kind of warn you so you don't run out to the urgent care multiple times like I did to get tested. If that happens to you, that there's a chance that may happen now.
Well, funny story is I had COVID back in December of 2020 and I didn't really lose my taste, but I lost my smell. And it just came back this past month.
Oh, you had it that long?
Yeah. And then it had a weird smell. Like I'm just happy to be able to smell stuff again. I'm excited about it.
I'm sure.
So wild. No, wait a second. Is everybody, I mean, Jackie, I know you're not. Nurses?
I work in like the corporate office of HR.
You're all in healthcare.
I was
Right?
in healthcare. I was in dentistry for 15 years, but just recently left.
But Anna, aren't you as well? In healthcare? Yeah. And Justine, I think you are too, right?
Yeah, I'm a NICU nurse.
Isn't that crazy?
I had twins in the NICU like 7 years ago. You guys are amazing.
She does right now. She has twins in the NICU. Justine just had twins 2 days ago.
Yeah, I just had twins 2 days ago and they're in the NICU right now.
Oh, God bless them. And you? How old are you born?
35 weeks in 1 day, so not too bad, but you know.
I hope they're doing well and healthy.
Thank you. They're doing well. They're actually numbers 3 and 4 for us, so it's kind of hard because I have 2 older girls at home right now that I'm, you know, trying to be here for, and then I have 2 in the NICU that I also need to be there for. So definitely a little bit torn right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard.
Bless you both, because I am a twin and I felt bad for my mom. So yeah.
I'm an identical twin.
Yeah, I have a twin sister.
So do I.
Stop, this is amazing.
Twin
This is
thing going on
fun.
at the party.
And Jackie has, so Jackie has twins, Justine, you have twins, and you two are twins.
That's my
Oh my gosh. Anna, don't you feel left out?
I know.
I do.
I know.
Oh my gosh. You guys are funny. That's so crazy. What a small world. I'm telling you. Okay, so this would be the point where I would say I would take my damp beauty blender perfector sponge and I would pick up I would just do it all over my face. This is going to take up any excess product. Typically what I'll do is I'll spray this at the very beginning of the makeup application and I will use this as a primer. I'm actually torn between using another primer again, but for now I do use this as a primer, so it'll already be wet. If you don't use a setting spray as a primer, just make sure that before you get started putting on your makeup, you run this under water and you rinse it out like this and make sure that all the excess water is out, and you'll see this thing is gonna get really big. And it's really nice when you have it damp. It just picks up excess product. If it's not damp, it's okay. And if you feel like this still isn't doing the trick, then just grab a paper towel and just blot your face. And that should help. Now, the really, really big troubleshooting tip that I'm going to give you is some sort of setting powder, especially if you have oily skin or you have areas that tend to be more oily. Use this. I will use this with my perfector sponge. You can take a brush and dab it in your powder. But when you look at the makeup when it's done, you'll see it has a beautiful dewy finish, which some people like, some people don't like, where it can look almost like it's glowy and shiny, and some people don't like that. So if you don't like that, that's totally fine. just take your brush or your, your perfector sponge, and you're gonna put a little bit of this setting powder on there, and you can put this all over your face. You can put this in the specific areas that you don't want it to look a little bit glowy. I always will set under my eyes. I think at this point we all need to do that, just to make sure that that makeup does not go anywhere. And you're gonna really want to press under your eyes. I just think it's, if you don't do it anywhere else on your face, I would definitely set under your eyes, because it also fills in wherever you have any fine lines and wrinkles. This stuff will fill in and it will stay all day. It's really, really good. I also wear glasses, so I put that on the bridge of my nose. Sometimes right here in the center of my forehead, it gets a little oily throughout the day. Maybe at the end of the day, I'll put it here. And then I always put it right here on my jawline, because I tend to rest my hand there. And I don't want, it to feel like I'm messing with my makeup. But yeah, I mean, once you do that, you should be good to go. The other thing I wanted to make sure you know is that if your makeup is not staying on, let's say 8 hours to be safe, then you maybe have the wrong shade. If it's still feeling like very tacky, you might have the wrong shade. You might need to shade up or shade down one. But this makeup, it shouldn't be transferring, which means it shouldn't be coming off on clothes. It shouldn't be coming off on stuff. Now I'll say this, if you're wearing a mask all day, that thing is rubbing constantly. There's a chance there's going to be a little bit that's going to come off. When you have something that's going like this, rubbing the whole day, it's to be expected. But again, take this setting powder and sort of just like put it where you would wear a mask.
Can you see the makeup on my mask?
Yeah.
Barely, probably.
Barely.
Yeah.
Well, I wore this for a couple hours today after I did my makeup. So like it does,
Yeah. Yeah.
not just get all gross.
Absolutely. Because then you're starting to sweat under there and that heat. So, just use that when you can. But that is that for troubleshooting. And again, give your skin some time. As far as setting your makeup, the setting spray, I just spray my sponge. I don't like to do this. It's just too wet. It doesn't really evenly distribute. I just like to spray the fat end of my sponge, and I'll just dab it all around so that it blends in those harsh lines, and it also sets the makeup. It should be good to go. But I'm gonna stop there and ask you guys to let me know like what questions you have, what are you confused about, what's something that you feel like you need more practice on, or anything like concerning, or if you don't have any questions, we can do some lips if you want. How are you guys feeling?
Good.
Good? Okay.
Good. I'm excited to try the bronzer. I was putting it here, and because it gets a little hard, and I didn't give it much chance to warm up because I figured with the bronzer, I didn't want to have too much on my finger. So I was struggling getting that
Yes.
pushed in.
Yeah. But I didn't even use my finger. I just dabbed my brush in. So I didn't even
I only have that one universal brush. Do you think that will work?
Yeah, it'll work.
Okay.
It'll definitely work. You could even use, I would use that. You have the 3D brush, Jackie?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ideally, eventually, I'll collect more, but right now, that's all.
You definitely could. Take the other end, obviously not the pointy end, but take the other end. And yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea.
Like after.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to give a plug for the people who don't have a blush bronzer brush. Is my favorite to blend out. Like I use this for, use the 3D brush. I use like this part to do the highlight or the light colors. And then I did this for the darker colors and then the blush.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've used this big side, but I highly recommend this one.
Yeah, it's a really good one. A really good one. Hey, let's do something fun. I'm gonna do like a little giveaway. I want you to tell me, because all of you on here have makeup. What's your favorite? You can put it in the comments at the little chat box. What's your favorite piece of the makeup, like from Seint? Like, what's your favorite thing? Hold on. And I'm gonna write them down because I want to know. Is it a lip and cheek? Is it
You know what?
eyeshadow?
This doesn't look that pretty. I'm going to show you guys because I told Veronica about this. Black cherry is awesome. It looks dark. It looks scary. It's like the Clinique black honey. And I've also mixed it with Frenchie. And so like you could do the cheeks, but one second.
That's a great idea. I never thought to do Frenchie.
Like it's very sheer. I'm trying to do this in the camera, so bear with me. But like, and you know, like that blends out really well. So it's not as scary as you think it would be. And it's a gloss, I think. So it feels really good on your lips. So
I need to try that. I need to try that. Frenchie and black cherry. And if you don't, do you all have Frenchie or?
No.
No, Frenchie's a lighter color. Some people use Frenchie for like color correcting, which if you can even believe it, under your eyes. Frenchie's great. They also just came out, in case you don't know, 5 new lip and cheek colors. They are beautiful. I'm getting ready to get some of them. This is Frenchie.
Ooh, that's pretty.
It's very pretty. So to mix that with the dark ish, I say dark-ish black cherry, I bet that's really pretty.
You know, it's funny because black cherry looks intimidating.
Looks dark, it's not.
But
But
it
it's
looks
not.
beautiful.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. It really does look beautiful. And Royal, I don't know if you have Royal too. Royal is another one. That's a gloss. That's gorgeous.
Ooh.
Pretty.
I think I have French.
That dark.
Really like sheer pinks. When it goes on, it's almost like a flesh tone to my skin.
Yes.
I get like extreme, this is like since I was a kid, dry lips in the winter. And like I just can't get myself hydrated nearly enough to correct it.
Yeah.
But so I've been just kind of using like Aquaphor. So if I do put anything on my lips, then I'll use the Aquaphor on top, which kind of glosses it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what it's going to really
Yeah.
be like in the summertime, to see that Frenchie color with like
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. With these colors, the satins, you have to have, I feel like you really should probably have a gloss on top of it.
Well, they do have glosses, lip and cheek, but I also use the lip conditioner under like the other ones that are drier because I do have really dry lips and I can't handle dry lips.
Right. Okay, really quick. If you haven't shared, I want you to just tell me what your favorite product is. Michelle, I think you're the only one that hasn't shared yet, but take your time. So I want to do some lip contouring in case you're ever feeling froggy. And I know it's getting super late. 9:30. Okay, I'm gonna go really quick. If you're ever feeling froggy and you want to contour your lips, I'm like really into this now. I just take my contour color. Take your contour color. And the key is to overline. And don't be afraid, because you're gonna like pat it out and blot it out. I haven't tried contouring my lips with a lighter color, like lip and cheek. I've only really done the nude, which is a darker kind of a brownie. So it just sort of like matches my contour better. So what you're gonna want to do is right above where your lips are, just create a little line. And then you're just gonna overline just a little bit. And I'm taking like a line brush. This is sort of like the line brush you would use for your eyebrows, except it doesn't have the spoolie on the end, like that circular kind of brush. This one, it's by itself. So I'm just overlining. And then just kind of do the same in the middle and the bottom. Give it a little shading. And then when you're coming up on the bottom, you don't want to like follow your actual lip because it just comes down too far. You want to kind of go up and in. So you have that like pouty, like, it's too much. It's too much. Like nobody's going to ever do this, but like I always sit here and I mess with it. It's just fun to do sometimes, but it's really cool if you don't want to do all this. All you need to do is just put that little line right above. What do they call this? Like a Cupid's bow? Just right here. So all you got to do, nothing else, and just pat it so that it almost like fades a little bit and it looks like a little shade. And you don't even have to do the whole thing, just right there. And it'll give that false sense of like a little bit of a bigger lip. And then you just go on to put your lip and cheek. So that would be like my best hack, is just don't worry about lining the whole thing. Just put a dot right there and just pat it. And then it almost makes this top lip look a little bit fuller. Just a little hack. Somebody taught me that. I don't remember who, but. And then I just dab my lip and cheek on. I see some people use a brush to put their lip and cheek on. Does anybody do that? Use a brush? Some people do. I never have. I always just use my finger. Now I'm going to try it. But I'm interested. This is the multitasker brush. This is really awesome too. Some people use this to put on their contour color, like their makeup. So, well, this is nice. Putting it on with a brush.
Life changing.
Do my cheeks, take the leftover, wipe it on.
So like mine are so dry. Like I gotta put something on, like some sort of a gloss, you know, just to take it off in 10 minutes. Okay. That's the black cherry on top of the nude. Okay, what else? We didn't do any eyeshadow. Maybe we'll save that for another day. But if you've purchased any of the eyeshadows that are super like shimmery, glittery, I mean, there is a method to that madness. Apparently there is a like an eyeshadow glue, almost primer, that you can put on your eyelid to get that to stick. Because I will say, what is this color again? That's not Tawanda. What is this color, Michelle? Do you know? This purpley shimmer glimmer thing.
Is that La La Land?
Yes, La La Land. It's like super glittery. It's like almost straight glitter, and it does get like in your eyelashes and it gets in your eyes. So if you do end up getting any of these, this is Angel's Landing, I think, same kind of thing. They will sort of drip. Yeah, I will share some sort of like an eyeshadow glue primer that will keep that on there. But that is that for basic application. So what do you guys think? Do you feel like you've sort of been doing this like that same kind of way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anna, what do you think? Because I know you're pretty new to it too.
Oh, you know how I told you I thought I might have a shade too dark. I wonder if what you were saying, because I was not doing the contour first. I was doing that last. So I actually wonder if I maybe have the right color. But I don't know. We'll see when it comes which one. But
yeah,
if it is, it's just so dark. So
yeah,
I wonder if that's was the problem. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. Try doing that contour first, almost like a guide. you know, to let you know where to put the other stuff. And the thing is too, if you get to this point and you're like, it seems like it's still too dark down here, take your finger, take a brush. This is the detail brush, one of my favorites. I just take a little bit of the main highlight and you do the Nike check like this, where you come here and you swoop it up. And then you see how there's a line there, you just gently blend it up or dab, and it'll just create a little bit more of a harsher contour line. That's just like the Nike check. I know it's hard to see, but yeah, let me know what that. What's that?
I said I'm actually.
Oh, you're breaking up, Michelle.
Mm.
Say that again. You're spotty.
Hey, buddy, go brush your teeth, okay?
You can see it well. Okay. Yeah, good. Because that's just that's the thing about this. It's buildable. Like if you want to add more, you can add more. Let's start off with a little bit. One layer, really. We can do like eyeshadow and brows another day if you guys want a little tutorial on how to do that. Eyeshadow is like one of the things that I'm really not great at, but I'm learning. So there's some really easy eyeshadow applications that we can do, and then your brows too. Brows are something new that I just recently learned how to do, so I am like stoked about that. I also just tinkled my face today. Have you guys done this?
Yeah.
It makes your makeup go on so good, so well, I should say. It just gets off those like.
So I have a question about that. Do you put anything on your skin before you do that?
I had already put my serums on and moisturized. I mean, typically you would do it when like your face is clean, probably nothing on it. So like the hair is extra like fluffy with nothing like matting it down. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, I don't think, because it's got enough of a razor, like a blade, to really like pull the hairs, you know. And it's wild, like some of the like peach fuzz that you get off and you're like, God, I didn't know it was that hairy. Yeah, they're like, wow, my husband has to look at this hairy face. So anyway,
I do that, but I don't tell him I do that.
Oh God,
Like,
no, never. Those are always going to be our little secrets. They don't need to know any of that we shave our face too.
You know, I have little tools like that years ago, and I had no idea what it was for. I thought it was some eyebrow thing, and I literally got it out 2 days ago just to open a bottle of like conditioner that had a sealer on it. I was just using it to.
Well, you can use it for your eyebrows.
So now I'm like, I'm gonna try it on my face now.
Yeah, I use it for my eyebrows too. Like if I'm like not going to the like, you know, esthetician to get my eyebrows done, I'll just like shave off the randos that are just, yeah, it's really good.
These little tips.
So many little hacks, fun little tips. I know I could be here all day just like messing with my makeup, drawing things on. I want to learn how to do the winged eyeliner too. That'll be a new. If anybody knows how to do it, like you should totally jump on.
I can try to help you, but I think starting off small is the easiest way. Because I bought a stamp. Well, that's a little extra.
Well, you have to show us that one day.
Sometimes I'll just put like little lines up and then barely connect them because I'll smoke out my eyes with my eyeliner or the eyeshadow. So it almost looks like I have stuff on, but I don't really. I didn't do it today, but I can try to show you.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see. Okay, so I feel like that's it for just like basic application. So do you guys have any questions or like anything you want to share? Any concerns? Thoughts?
You did great.
You did great. You're amazing. You're the best Zoom host ever.
Well, you're the best Zoom guests ever. If you guys don't know, these two little beauties are my newest artists, Heather and Michelle. So they are also artists.
Congratulations, ladies.
And they are doing so well. So yeah, so it's all good, but I'm going to do this again. There were a bunch of people that could not come today and they wanted to. So I might try to do this every week and bring some like new tips. Like I'm not going to do the same thing every week, but since this is recorded. So I think maybe next week we'll do eyes. We'll do some like eyeshadow looks, because things might come up as you are getting used to the makeup. And so you might have more questions and stuff like that. So I'll shoot out an email and kind of see. I mean, I might just stick with the same day and time. I don't know if this time works. Okay. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'll get some feedback from you guys. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got. So I'll let you guys have the rest of your night. I know it's super late, but I really appreciate you coming on here and
Okay, I'm still drinking.
What's that? I know. I don't know.
That's my last one.
That's 2 glasses.
I'm so jealous. Oh, maybe I'll sneak one in before bed. But okay, guys, thank you so much. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.